Good that you're watching. We're back with the weekly news stream. Hello, hello, hello. Um, last time I was live, I was from a hotel room. Yeah, it's all looking good. With of course, Tom hosting for the Black Flag reveal. I was in London for the 007 event where I got to play the game. Of course, I already made a video on that. And after that, I did a short trip through Japan with a friend of mine. Now I'm back for almost a week, and we'll be traveling soon again. It's kind of crazy. So we'll have to figure out how I'm going to do the stream next week. But I want to go back to the weekly streams on Wednesday at least, and probably do Monday too. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining as always. Space, the world, Reddit Phantom, hey, Get Frogged, what's this, what happened, A Blue Fox, hello, Jay Assassin. I hope so Restream always has something weird where they have like multiple sort of streams going on. Maybe I can like delete. Yeah. Now we should not have that issue in the future anymore. But sometimes it decides to stream to the wrong platform. So that's why it had the wrong name. I think if you go to Twitch right now, it should still say that we're discussing the gaming news, right? Yeah. So sorry if someone was triggered by the Black Flag stuff. I mean, we do have new gameplay. We're gonna go over that during the stream, of course, every time, every Wednesday when I'm home, when I'm not traveling for work or other stuff. I want to discuss the latest gaming news with you, and it's great to see everyone joining again. Saber Knight, Rise Flopper, Experiment 21, 7 Past 10, Codex Seeker Frank, Nick Daly, Fassy. Good to see everyone again. Yadi 2, good to see you too. Gamers Creed, Mr. Big Daddy, Rilo Games. Is a GTA 6 trailer soon? I mean, you would hope that at one point they are going to start the pre-orders, right? But it will, like, I hope for everyone else that they will do it after Summer Game Fest because they will overshadow everyone. So I hope they give like all the other games that are coming out before November a spotlight during Summer Game Fest, and then later they're like, okay, and now it's our turn. This is what we're going to do. We actually do have a quick story that we can go over in regards to GTA because, sure, it's gonna be cool to see the trailer again. It's gonna be cool to learn more information about the game, see if they do like pre-order bonuses, if they have like different editions and stuff. Maybe that's where they announced the online mode already, because yeah, you would think that having like pre-order bonuses that give you like stuff for the online mode or like special edition stuff would be beneficial, but it might be a bit too soon. But of course, the price is going to be interesting as well, and yeah, that is still some. Yeah, that is still a point of discussion, and we might want to throw up a poll. And Brock, good to see you as well. Thanks, thanks for joining. Um, the 15th of May for the. So people have been speculating that for GTA 6 because if we go to the Take-Two investor call like website, we see that they will do their Q4 2026 earnings call on May 21st. So that's where they will report their most recent numbers. And usually, like in the past, what happened, I think for Red Dead and for GTA, I think someone on Reddit pointed that out. They, before this investor call, made the big trailer announcement and yeah, like dropped a new trailer basically for the game if they were launching at the end of the year. Like for Red Dead 2, that was of course the end of October. A few weeks later is it now for GTA 6. So that is what people are speculating, because obviously if Take-Two has some poor numbers, I think they're doing pretty well actually. But then they can just point to, yeah, but we have GTA 6 coming, so all will be fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, that is a potential date. So that would be, yeah, people are saying May 15th. It would actually be the 19th, I think. May 19th. The Drunken Pirate is saying, I don't trust Ubisoft anymore. I'll wait until honest reviews are out. So we know that people have been playing Black Flag Resynced. Many people, actually. I have not played it yet, but I will soon. I can already say that. So I'll be going to a different event that will be next week, actually. So that's why I'm like figuring out when I should do this stream. I want to do in the Discord, and maybe Brock, you're watching here as well. I want to do in the Discord a let's see, a like community suggestions, or we might do like a, yeah, I think I'm gonna do it in the community suggestions again. Ask you to put questions there, because I will be able to interview developers, so I will be able to get a lot of information. I've already, of course, typed in a lot of stuff. We have already way more info than we had after the reveal. I already did one video on it, but I want to do another video on what we all learned in the blog post yesterday very soon. So look forward to that. But yeah, basically, if you join the Discord, maybe Brock can share it here for people who have not joined the Discord yet. I will be doing a call out maybe today or a little later if you have questions for the developers for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. I think one of the big ones is, can we still pick up weapons from enemies? We've not really seen that, and in the blog post they did not talk about it. I think that is a good one. Of course, the Hidden Blade combat, they probably know about the feedback. Look, what we've seen with Shadows is that even if things are not at launch, doesn't mean that they won't be added. The manual jump for Mirage, of course, was a big addition as well. Look, I think the Hidden Blade combat is maybe a bit more complicated, but they are still doing what we learned. They're still doing the basically the Hidden Blade takedowns are still in the game, but they just do them randomly when you have the Hidden Blade unlocked, which of course happens early in the game. So maybe they will, it won't be that hard, basically. And they are obviously, like, this has been a huge success. We learned that Black Flag has 1 million wish lists already. It's gonna be a very, like, I'm only seeing positive things apart from people, like, wanting the Hidden Blade combat back, of course. And I get why. It's just very cool. It's not, I've said it as well, like, it's not the best. I think using weapons that have better stats is actually a better way to play, but the game, like, at least the original, was not that hard, and yeah, just using your Hidden Blades to block and parry and counter is just super cool. So let's hope that they find a way to add it, because also I think them adding it, and that is one of the biggest things I think from the blog post, and again I will talk about that in the separate video as well. A lot of the things that they added with the Shadows post-launch are beneficial to Black Flag as well. And I think that is so interesting. So, like, I don't think that was really the case before. Like, what Simon and the team did was not just to improve Shadows. It was, they are immediately using that for Black Flag and potentially other titles too. And I think that makes a post-launch for an Assassin's Creed game way more interesting and way more crucial and actually beneficial to more than just one game. So I think that's very cool. That's what all the time they put into Shadows, even if you did not like that game or whatever, it was very beneficial to Black Flag as well. And that's really what we've seen with what they are talking about in this blog post. Again, I will discuss that very soon, but I already did a short on some of the highlights. Hey, Skata, good to see you. Hope you had a great time. Can you talk about where you were? I know you were. I saw a lot of other people talk about it. We're not getting any GTA 6 news. I mean, we will at one point. It will be there, but we don't know when. 53 nights. Hey, how was Vietnam? I was not in Vietnam. I was in Tokyo. Hopefully it returns. I really wish Black Flag had more weapon variety. Like, for me, it really looks, and that's, I think, also interesting, that they used a lot from Mirage. What we learned, like, from the blog post yesterday is that there are heavy attacks now, and you do them by holding the light attack button, which is the same as in Mirage. So, they're using the Observe here from Shadows, but they're also using Like, I think how the perk works and the trinkets from Mirage. So it really like it's really Black Flag with with Mirage and Shadows blended together as well, and just some things from both games. So I think that's very interesting. And yeah, those games just did not have the Hidden Blade combat, and yeah, that is probably why they didn't go for it. But again, if they want to do more remakes, them putting in the time to, I mean, it's gonna be such a W for them if they can announce, yeah, Hidden Blade comeback will be returning. Maybe as like an update post launch. I don't think they're able to do it before July. That would of course be huge. If they can do like a Crimson Desert where they promise something and then a month later it's in the game. But already having like a sort of post launch roadmap or whatever where they say, yo, in summer or in fall you will have Hidden Blade combat. Although I also think that Ubisoft is like it will be a big W, but would you wait? Okay, well, let's do a first poll here. Would you wait if they added Hidden Blade combat but later? Would you then wait with buying the game, or would you still buy it day one? I think that's gonna be an interesting one. So I'm gonna do a first poll here. Marwin, hey, thanks for the support, of course. Which legacy outfits do you think we can expect in Resynced? Look, they said all the outfits will return, so I think all of them. But they might change the way you unlock them because, of course, the Ubisoft Club sort of feature is not in the game. I think that is how you unlock them in the original, right? But correct me if I'm wrong. Or through some sort of like online feature. Maybe they are going to do that through the like yeah, they will have some anomalies in the game. Maybe that they will tie some of the legacy outfits to that. But I think they will probably bring back all of them. I would not be surprised if they I would be surprised actually if they don't. Let's see. And I'm gonna, like, because I already see people wanting to ask questions, let's just immediately make that. I'm gonna, it's, let's do it in the channel for questions. Great, I'm starting a channel, Brock, but totally change it if you want, and I'm gonna do at everyone. If you have questions for the Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced developers, leave them here and I will try and get an answer for as many as I can. Send now. So there is a, if you join the Discord and go to the Black Flag Resynced tab, you now see the 4th channel that I just made with questions. So you can leave questions there, and then when I get the chance to ask them, and that will be soon, I will, yeah, try and get answers for everyone. Hey, Severus, good to see you. So that is exciting. But yeah, Marvin, thanks for the super chat there. Really, really appreciate it. Let's see. 53 Knight says, I'll be honest, I don't even remember using the blades outside of stealth assassinations. Again, it just looks very cool, and it's iconic. Like I think it's mostly because even if you like don't really use it, it is very Assassin's Creed like, and I do think a lot of people feel that Ubisoft just didn't, like, with them, yeah, removing a lot of the parkour with the RPG games and now adding them back finally. Like, they feel that some of the core pillars from Assassin's Creed, and I totally agree, disappeared throughout the years. And then having this remake where the iconic Assassin's Creed weapons that in the original could be used for combat as well, now cannot be used. It feels like another one of those, see, here we go again. They're not listening. Like, they're not, like, really, basically, they're basically taking away another huge pillar from the franchise. So let's do the poll here. Would you wait? Would you wait with buying Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced if Hidden Blade Combat was added later. Yes. No. Bleep. Hey Flash Gaming, thanks for joining. Hey JorRaptor, it's crazy that history is repeating itself with Assassin's Creed Resynced and GTA 6 from 2013 and 2026. For sure. Yeah, for sure. And this time it's smart though, like Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced um, getting out in front of GTA instead of the other way around. Of course, GTA 5 released and then Black Flag launched a few months later. But Ubisoft, the CEO, has always said, sure, like GTA, you don't want to launch around it, but it is actually a good thing for the industry. A lot of people will play or will buy a PlayStation that, or maybe use it again, that were kind of out of gaming. But for GTA, they will get into that ecosystem again. And if they then see, whoa, Black Flag, the game that I loved around the launch of GTA 5, has now a remake, and maybe they do like a discount around November, then that could be beneficial to Ubisoft as well, and they might then sell more copies of Black Flag. So that is an interesting way of looking at it. But of course, and that's why we're seeing every game, like we can update our doc that we of course use during these streams, because it has been a while since we looked at it, and we do have some new release dates right here. Oop. Oop. So yeah, Lego Batman had some pretty positive previews as well. It's of course coming out soon. Black Flag is actually July 9th. Blood of Dawnwalker, my prediction was August, but it's actually September 4th. So we now have a release date for that as well. Phantom Blade Zero, Wolverine, Onimusha, Way of the Sword. This is probably a bit too ambitious. Yeah, I can still see this happen. And yeah, we of course know that this is legit as well. Ceros has launched. Been playing a lot of it, or a lot. I've played it a bit, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't really care for the story that much, but the gameplay is really, really good. And so far, upgrading seems, yeah, it seems pretty easy to get through it. So I'm curious how it goes. But yeah, overall, liking my time with Ceros. So yeah, we of course have these. Oh, we now have a release date for this as well. My prediction was September, but it's actually October 6th. Kena 2, Lords of the Fallen 2. So this one seems to be delayed. Delayed to Feb 2027. Halo, Gears of War. Now the rumor is September. And this was actually, the rumor is July. And then, of course, Forza 6. Yeah, big lists of games. I probably am missing something, but we do have the updates now. And they are already talking about Control Resonant New Game Plus. And I'm like, I don't think we ever had a game talk about New Game Plus before they announced the release date, but here we are. Yeah. Hey, Remote Anolo, good to see you as always. The Witcher 3 DLC, yeah. Let's put it here. Witcher 3 DLC, rumored September. Yeah, man, September is crazy. This is confirmed. And look, I think Wolverine is gonna be a solid 10-hour roller coaster. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Will be really, really fun to play through. But I think Phantom Blade Zero will be the big one here. I really hope we get Blood of Dawnwalker like early August, so I can start playing and prepare some videos for it, because I will be all over Phantom Blade Zero. That is gonna be the big one. That is really gonna be the big one. And they've been kind of quiet, so I'm curious when they will start talking again to remind people that, hey, it's coming and it's looking insane. Joseph said no Star Wars Jedi 3 this year, apparently. Yeah, yeah, the rumor was maybe May the 4th, but it's still like, I would not rule it out yet. If we go past Summer Game Fest without a reveal, then, Joseph, I agree. It's likely not going to happen. But if we are, like, there is going to be a State of Play probably at the end of this month, or like early June. Summer Game Fest is happening June 5th. Those are, and the Xbox Game Showcase also happening. Those are the 3 where I can see Jedi 3 be announced. And in this day and age, it's really, you announced the game and it's launching a few months later. And if they announce it now, they are going to launch it before GTA. But I think early October could be good for them too. So, although we do have Star Wars Galactic Racer now on October 6th. So, yeah, that might be a bit too much Star Wars. But hey, I'm not holding out, I'm not like losing hope yet. Because I think the whole theory that, hey, if they are following the same development cycle, like in terms of months and years, then September is when they would launch the game. And yeah, again, the Survivor was made during COVID when everything was, yeah, of course, slowed down significantly. So you would think that Jedi 3 has a bit more like dev time overall without any hurdles. I'm curious though, maybe they will switch to Unreal Engine 5 and that will hurt them a bit. But yeah, that's just speculation. I hope they take their time though. Like, I don't want it this year. Like, I'm fine. Like, again, look at the December lineup. Look at what we're having here. This is a lot. It's, by the way, not rumored. It's launching. But I can see it happen. Like, I would not be surprised if we play Jedi 3 before the end of this year. Although, I'm fine with early next year or, like, mid-2027 as well, actually. Semper is saying Far Cry 7 release date. Well, yeah, like that game is probably next year. We heard like a lot about, or like there are a lot of rumblings that the development is not going as well as it should. So yeah, we will have to wait and see, of course, if that. I mean, it's gonna happen one day. They got like a big cash injection, of course, from Tencent, and Assassin's Creed, I think it's now like in way better hands. I think John Godon, like the head of the franchise now, is doing a great job. The marketing for Black Flag has been very, very good so far, and they're taking the lessons from Shadows with the blog post and launching new gameplay. And I think having a very short reveal to launch window is good for them as well, because like what happens usually with big Assassin's Creed game reveals is that they launch a cinematic trailer with some screenshots, and then they're kind of going in the dark, and then a month later they do like a gameplay trailer that doesn't really show that much, and then we're constantly waiting for new stuff. And then for Shadows it was even worse, because the only things they talked about from launch till like September or something were the seasons and the graphical upgrades, etc. Not a lot about the game. And now with Black Flag, of course it's a remake, so people know the game already. But it's kind of wild. The game was announced less than 2 weeks ago, and they're already going in depth on systems and showing a lot of footage. And that 30-minute reveal had a lot of gameplay. Usually a gameplay overview trailer is something you see close to launch. And now they were like, here's the game. Look at it. Here is 12 minutes of footage. This is what it is. And I think that is the way to go. So, yeah, we might see that for Hexe as well. And I was pretty surprised to read from Tom Henderson, because we of course do have some Hexe details or leaks, etc. Yeah, it was pretty interesting to read that the game is scheduled now for June 2027. So that is very interesting. We do have people say, Insider Gaming. We do have like people now in the Twitch poll saying that like 56% would wait for Hidden Blade Combat. So that is for Black Flag, of course. Like that is for me potentially a reason why Ubisoft could better not talk about it before launch. So just be like, yeah, we know you want it, but we don't have time to do it. And then maybe a week after launch, when they have the initial sales, when everyone gets it, then talk about it. There are multiple ways to approach it, of course, but that way people might not be like, okay, I will get it later when they add it. If you right now think they're never going to add it, then you might as well buy it day one, right? But if they announce that it's coming later, then maybe people will wait. I think it's an interesting kind of discussion. Still no ETA on Tides of Annihilation. That's actually a good one. We're gonna put that on the list. What would be a prediction for that game? It's like October, I think, right? Put it here. Tides of Annihilation. For people who don't know, that's the very cool looking game with the lady and the cool sort of Knight of the Round Table, right? Or like King Arthur sort of mythology, huge creatures in London. It's kind of an awesome game. Prediction October. Would be crazy though. This should be like a January 2027 game. But Tides definitely going to be 2026, 7, yeah, right? So, well, okay. I'm leaning towards that too. So that would be here. Like, I hope it's like January. I think that would be perfect for that game. I'm expecting it next year. Well, says everyone. Okay, yeah. What's the YouTube poll? Do you guys see it? Usually it's at the top of the chat, but now it's at the bottom. But yeah, the poll is about if you would wait for buying Black Flag Resync if the Hidden Blade Combat was added. On YouTube, most people are saying no. They would still get it day one. Q3-4 is best for sales. GTA makes November a no-go, and December is too late to launch something huge. I mean, some games can get away with December, like Cyberpunk. But I would overall agree. If you this year are not going to hit before November, then it's better to delay to 2027. That leaves September, October, but they have October. There's no time for the last second delay. Yeah. Yeah, again, like we're looking at this list and this as well. There are going to be more games added, probably, which is kind of wild. But that's why I think the Black Flag release date is smart. July 9th. That is a good window. That is a very good window. Again, I'm expecting Control maybe there, but they're gonna have a hard time picking a date for that game. Because there's a lot riding on Control Resonant. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really, really good. But they need more than just the hardcore Remedy fans. Because we saw that with Alan Wake 2. That game did not make a profit until 2 years after launch or something. So that is not good enough for Control. They need a big hit. Otherwise Remedy is in trouble. King of Arrows asking anything on the new project for Shadows. Like, I think they're probably going to do some Black Flag collabs, but they're probably going to their next update for Shadows will be a fun one. I think. I think it will be a great reason to jump back into the game. We will probably get a new project that will likely have Nawe's concept art outfit, if I had to guess, as sort of the final outfit that you can get. So that's going to be exciting, and I think they're probably going to do the boss replay feature, like a way to replay the bosses with some challenges and stuff. And yeah, they might do a quest, like a crossover mission for Black Flag. That game is now announced, and we usually do see some sort of cross promotions, and I do think it could benefit Shadows as well if they are like, yo, want to see some of the improvements that we're talking about with Black Flag? Come play our game first. And yeah, we have a Black Flag item pack, or I think it would be way better for them to just add the Edward Legacy outfit for free or something. Black Flag for everyone who joins the game. So like maybe his sword as a weapon or something for everyone to unlock through maybe a mission where we hunt Templars on ships, something like that. I can see that happen. Summer Game Fest should be fun. Oh yeah, I will be live reacting to, of course, everything as well. I didn't get Alan Wake 2 because it isn't on Steam. Yeah, that's still crazy, but Epic Games really seem to have funded that game. So, yeah. Yeah, there's probably something in the the contract there, although it might not have been smart or worth it after all. Although people are arguing, or Remedy at least, they are arguing that like Alan Wake 2 would not have happened without Epic support. So yeah. But I hope for them that they can still launch it on Steam at one point. I will always wait with buying an AC game lately. I don't think AC games are worth paying for. I just wait before they become free on the PlayStation Store. Sure, like that is totally valid. I love playing Assassin's Creed games at launch. Like for me, it's of course different because I make videos on it as well. But I like overall game launches when everyone is talking about the same thing, or when your YouTube feed or whatever is full of people enjoying the game at the same time. If you play a game later, then yeah, it feels like you have to go back in time to still watch some of the content. I think like playing a game and then having videos from your favorite creators about that current game you're playing, like at the same time, I think that's part of a really fun experience. So that's why I do like launch. But I get it. Like again, if they Shadows right now is much better than when it was at launch. Crimson Death is way better than it was at launch. Like, it makes sense. And that will get us to a first news article that we can quickly go over. I think that's interesting. First, I see Lonely Fates talking about Marvel 1943. We can probably put that here. I hope that game is going to be great. But, yeah, it's probably going to be early 2027. I don't know. If it ever comes out, because that's another one of those, maybe it's not real. Maybe it's not gonna happen. Have I played Death as Disco? No, let's check it out. Never heard of it either. Death as Disco. Oh wow, it looks like Yakuza with music. What was that that Xbox game again? The Bethesda game. Hi-Fi Rush, of course. Yeah. Kind of looks like this. Is it similar to that? It's very positive. It just came out. Awesome. No, I've not heard of it, but it sounds awesome. I might want to load this onto my ROG Ally and play it. It's early access. It's $20. Okay. Pretty nice. Thanks for that. No. So one of the things that I was talking about here and is that like 62% of hardcore players no longer buy full price games, a survey suggests. Older players are the least likely to buy full price games. That's according to Generations in Play report developed by IGN, polling thousands of highly committed consumers in the US, UK, and Australia. 38% of millennials, people aged 30 and 44, and 42% of Gen Z, 14 to 29, said they still buy full price games. But only 20% of Gen X people, 46 to 61, said they would. The market has shifted. Consumers are full in terms of things to play, watch, and read. Plus, games have the habit of launching unfinished, like we talked about that just now. So considering those two factors, the drive to rush out day one and purchase a game isn't the way it used to be. The upside is that games are living for longer, and it's not unusual for big games to sell for years and decades. I mean, I think that's pretty valid. There are just a few games that you want to get day one. Like, again, GTA 6, waiting for that, or another, like, Wolverine, or... like, there are some games that you know will spoil you if you don't play it day one. So unless you don't care about the story, there is, and you don't want to get off social media like altogether, there is a valid reason to go jump in day one. Again, also like I already said, I think it's cool to also play the game at the same time as a lot of other people, and then discover things at the same time, or watch videos from creators that are playing it as you play as well, and then you can immediately find or like look for the things that they talk about and the tips that they share. I think that's also valid, but like that is again just a really hardcore like group of people, and we've seen it time and time again. Yeah, sometimes you can better wait. You get a cheaper game that has more content and better features, less bugs. So I totally get it. But there will always be, I think it's kind of similar to potentially a live event, or like there are some events that you want to watch at the same time. Like the World Cup is coming up for football, of course. The oh wow, okay, wait, delete response. We have Eurovision Song Festival, of course, in Europe. Those things you don't want to watch later, because then you're not part of the conversation. Like GTA 6, you want to be there day one. Witcher 4 potentially as well, Elder Scrolls 6, etc., etc. But other games you can wait. Like I think Saros, a game you can just wait on. Like it's not that people are heavily discussing it right now. Maybe it will go on sale later on, and I think that's a game that I would personally wait for sale. Like I've played a few hours, not a lot, but so I think it really depends on the type of event, the type of game that it is, and some are you can just wait, and that's why I, for example, fear a bit for Blood of Dawnwalker that is launching September 4th, a week before Phantom Blade Zero and Wolverine, two games that I think will be bigger events. So I do think people would rather pay or play that game full price and at launch, and then maybe pick up Blood of Dawnwalker later. But we will see. Rumotanolo talking about that disco game again. You can add your own music and sync it with the combat. That's so awesome. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow, we have the nerdy giant here. Thanks a lot for your support. So do you think Black Flag is successful? Ubisoft could... So do you think if Black Flag is successful, Ubisoft... wait. So do you think if Black Flag is successful for Ubisoft, could we see them go the direction Capcom does with remakes? I totally think so. Like, I think what we're already seeing with Black Flag, it's really, really helping for them. And for Capcom, like, basically why Capcom also did the remakes was because the newer titles, the newer, like, Resident Evil titles, starting with 6, of course, did not resonate with people at all. So they were going back to the drawing board and were like, okay, people want more horror. Let's go back to Resident Evil 3 and 2 and 4, of course, later. And I think Ubisoft is kind of in a similar situation. Their newer games across all portfolios are not really resonating with a lot of the older fans. So going back to those games that people have fond memories of and using the technology, like Ubisoft knows how to make a very good looking game. The tech was never the issue, really. So putting those learnings onto a game that people love, that they have nostalgia for, I think is gonna be a very, very good move for Ubisoft. And the moment they open that vault to the Ezio trilogy, I think they're gonna make every game, like, they're gonna do every game like one by one. I don't think they're gonna like launch the whole Ezio trilogy as a remake in one go. Of course, AZ1, that game is going to be so, so cool in a remake, I think. I think they're going to do way more than even with Black Flag Resynced. And then I'm not talking about, like, better graphics and stuff, because that game obviously needs it. But also, a lot of critique, like a lot of the targets being similar. I think they're going to totally change things up. Basically, I think how Shadows plays and what we're now seeing with Black Flag that are, is using a lot of the Shadow systems, I totally think they're going to apply that to AC1. So we're basically playing a modern Assassin's Creed, but in the world with the story of AC1. Hopefully more diverse targets, more side content, maybe bigger worlds to explore. Obviously, it's gonna be seamless instead of the loading screens. So I think they got like a a really big opportunity to go back to all these older games. And not even Assassin's Creed. I think Far Cry 3, doing a full-on remake for that with the systems that we saw in 6 and probably more content. Like, they don't need to touch the story, that's perfect. But yeah, add way more stuff to the open world. Remove that very long skinning and looting and all those sort of things that even the classic edition still had. Watch Dogs 1. Go back to Watch Dogs 1. What was the feedback on that? They didn't like these. It would be a baller move if they could make Watch Dogs 1 look like that initial reveal. I think that could, like, give Watch Dogs maybe a new life. Ghost Recon Wildlands, I think, is another big game that they could remake that will make a lot of people happy. Obviously, they can, like, update that in many ways as well. So, I really think that this is gonna be the start of a new era for Ubisoft in terms of remakes, but I hope it doesn't mean that they're just going to be the remake studio. What we're seeing with Capcom, and why I think their approach is awesome, is that they also used what they saw for these remakes. Like, oh wow, we love the more horror as Resident Evil titles. Let's for Village, let's for these newer games also go back to what made the series very, very special. I hope they're going to do that with Assassin's Creed as well. They're now seeing what people react to with Black Flag Resynced. You better bet that the next Assassin's Creed game will have Hidden Blade combat as well, right? So I think it's a good situation for them to be in. And I mean, that, like, Ubisoft is huge. They were huge, I should say, and that is because they made some of the games that people love, that they look back fondly on. So them remaking them, putting them, like, if they do everything right, as they're kind of doing now with Black Flag Resynced, but for these other games, I think it's going to be very, very exciting. Watch Dogs 1 will be awesome, right? Like, that would be such a baller move again if they are like, remember that reveal. We know that we weren't really there in 2014, but look at the remake. And it's like that. Oh my god. I hope they revisit Freedom Cry and Liberation. You would think that Freedom Cry and Liberation and even Rogue would be much easier to remake after Black Flag, right? Because they could use a lot of the assets that they used for those games, because those games already used a lot of the Black Flag assets and AZ3 assets. So AZ3, I think, should also be a bit easier. Look, if Black Flag, and so far, Ubisoft has not seen the success that they had with the Black Flag Resynced reveal in a long time. I think since Valhalla's reveal. And maybe you remember, that was huge. I mean, that was still bigger than this, but the amount of, like, hype and people excited for a Ubisoft game, we've not seen that in a very long time. Without any of the rage bait YouTubers finding ways to rip the game apart, and then following will start repeating the things that they are saying, and then you get this whole sort of situation that we had with Shadows. No, for Black Flag, it's all, this looks peak. Okay, I wish they had the Hidden Blade combat. Oh, I wish they let us still pick up weapons from enemies. Doesn't seem to be the case. Apart from that, though, the new enhancements they're making, thumbs up. And let's hope it actually plays well as well. But, yeah, again, if they do that for other games, it's going to be interesting. And, yeah, they are seeing those numbers. I do think they are seeing that. And we will have a Ubisoft investor call soon as well. Let's see when that will happen, on May 20th. So that is in 2 weeks, on Wednesday in 2 weeks. We will hear numbers for Black Flag then. And maybe that is where they will announce that there will be, like, we already, like, that was my post as well. I'm not sure if you saw it. And it was a joke, but I also think it's kind of true. If we look at Assassin's Creed. They've been posting a lot here. The team has been reading your comments, and we want to say a heartfelt thank you for the 1 million wish list across all platforms. We're so pleased to see the excitement in the community for Resynced. Yeah. And my comment was 10 new Ubisoft remakes just entered development. Like, I really think that happened. Again, they're not used to seeing this, and I think it's cool. A good Ubisoft is good for all the people. Like, they employ a lot of developers. It's super hard out there, of course, for the development community, like finding a job, keeping a job. And Ubisoft employs a lot of people and has very cool franchises that you can do really cool shit with. So them actually listening, them applying the things, and yeah, that we're now seeing with even the Shadows post-launch into Black Flag. Again, I think it's fascinating to see what Simon and the team were doing for Shadows. We're now seeing that in Black Flag. Like, the advanced parkour setting, where you can jump and, jump from any height without, usually you have a restriction. In Shadows it was, you cannot jump, if you're like 10 meters off the ground, you can't jump down because you would take damage. But with the advanced parkour mechanic, you can still jump, of course, and then try to break fall or jump to a roof or whatever, whatever is there. They are now using that in Black Flag Resynced. So those teams were working on Black Flag Resynced. They were like, hey, we're making this game. And then Simon and his team on the Shadows post-launch were like, yeah, let's do this feature. We know people want it. And then it's suddenly a free feature in Black Flag Resynced. And we will, like, this, I think, the first big real example, apart from, of course, seeing the graphical improvements and stuff, but an actual feature that they made with Shadows post-launch being available at the Black Flag Resynced launch. It means that all the things they are doing post-launch or anything else they will doing, yeah, Hexay can benefit from that too. Yeah, the next Assassin's Creed RPG can benefit from that too. So hopefully when those games launch, we're not starting at square one again, trying, like, asking for the most simple features, because, hey, they were already implemented with the previous post-launch, so they should hopefully be in the game at launch. And this is my new profile picture, by the way. What will we do if AC4 Resynced will be delayed like Shadows? It won't be. No. They already delayed it, actually. It was planned for March, and they delayed it. Fall is going to be stuffed. East Ludu, good to see you. Yeah, it is. We, of course, talked about it already. When is Bluff Dawnwalker again? Is it September 9th? Was it not September 6th? I think Phantom Blade or September 4th. Phantom Blade 0 is September 9th. All I remember from AC3 is Connor being obsessed with you. Also, I hope they include the legendary Captain Edward outfit. All the outfits are in the game. I need Hidden Blade comment. Yeah, Peps Gaming. I feel you. Freedom Cry should have been included, says Samaya. I mean, it was it included in the base game from the previous remake? I don't think so. At least knowing that Freedom Cry would happen would be nice. But, again, never say never. Like, I think all the options are on the table, even if they weren't before. I mean, they're going to wait after launch because, of course, the pre-order hype, the wish list, that's one thing. But actually seeing all the people push the buy button and playing it day one, I think that will convince them to do more stuff and probably run this into the ground with, like, the amount of remakes. But if they do a new remake every year, I think that would be actually not that bad. Like, similar to Resident Evil. They had a new Resident Evil launch every year. If they do that with Assassin's Creed, so next year it would be Hexay. The year after would be AC1 remake. The year after that would be the AC RPG. The year after that would be another AC remake. And just do it like that. I think that would be crazy. And then for one, like for the Ezio trilogy, they do like one, or like they do like the first one, so 2. And then 6 months later, Brotherhood, and then Revelations, like a year later or something. I don't know. I don't think you want to space them out too much, but it might still be a little too crazy. But we can only speculate. But then, and I think that is very exciting overall. There will be a time. It will still be a while. I think 5 years maybe. when they will announce an Origins remake or an Odyssey remake. New content. We know they're going to do that. Or maybe because Quebec is now, of course, like they just launched Shadows, they need a win. Shadows, again, I think Shadows, with all the technical enhancements and stuff they have been doing, has been a huge win for Black Flag Resynced already, and probably future get titles too. But Quebec as a studio, if they would do like an Odyssey Resynced, to have something out before the next big RPG. I mean, that is what Singapore is doing too. Because I now see people saying like, do you want a new game from Singapore, or do you prefer Singapore as a developer or Quebec? And I'm like, okay, did we forget Skull and Bones? That was Singapore working on that. So, and they needed a win. Singapore needed a win. Well, Black Flag Resynced is that win. I would argue Quebec needs a win too. Going back to Odyssey, remaking that, it's probably too soon. It's too soon though, but still. That would be 2028. That's close. In 2 years. 2028 would be 10 years. But Black Flag was 13 years. We will see. We will see. But I think it's interesting. Origins doesn't need a remake, same for Odyssey. I mean, they don't need remakes. Did Black Flag need a remake? No. I would argue it didn't. I would argue it didn't. Might run the franchise into fatigue if they do back-to-back every year. I mean, Mr. Big Daddy. They did Shadows last year. They're doing Black Flag Resynced this year. They do Hexay next year. We're already back to the year-to-year, man. We're already back. It is not hurting the excitement for Black Flag, at least. And I think for Hexay, it won't hurt either. Next year is also the 20th anniversary of the franchise, so good stuff. I want to quickly go over this news, because new details was 007 First Light suggested that IO Interactive is aiming for a campaign length of roughly 20 hours for the average player. The information comes from content creator JorRaptor, who shared insights into the structure and the scope of the upcoming James Bond title. Yes, it's me. I was at an event, and I also got to interview the gameplay director. But during that interview, which was before the event, why am I like zooming in? I don't want to zoom in. I just want to scroll. Huh? For whatever reason, I'm constantly zooming in. I think it's because I just spilled my tea over my keyboard. That's great. Towel or something. I will fix it, but we're still zooming in. But either way, like I had the interview. I think I have to clean my keyboard real quick. Let's see if I'm not like typing in real weird stuff. Hitting all sorts of buttons. Are we able to scroll again? No, we're still zooming in. That's very annoying. Is it just this website? No, it's everything. Great. That is not good. We can just discuss it, I guess. But yeah, I asked the PR there if they were going to talk about the 20 hours, and I'm surprised no one else got the information. But it seems like I was the only one who asked, and I reported on it, of course. But I think 20 hours, I was surprised when I heard it. I played the game for 3.5 hours, and I did 3 missions, but I also replayed a lot of that. So, Of course, always with these hours, it's like really depending on the type of player you are. But yeah, still, everything is zooming in. That's because my control is likely broken. Oh no, I need to get a new keyboard. But yeah, 20 hours, way more than I anticipated, and I think that's good for a game like this. And they have the tactical ops mode as well, the tactical simulation, where you can replay missions with different challenges, use outfits. So yeah, there's way more content than I anticipated, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think 007 First Light is gonna be one of my personal favorite games of 2026. Then we also have this real quick. You see, we like things are not working. The T screwed up my keyboard. I can't click on the image. But yeah, we got an image for the new Assassin's Creed game, Invictus. And can I do full screen? But Jonathan, yeah, this is the real image. So this is basically Cassandra. You can't really see it, but it's Cassandra in a Colosseum fighting enemies. I think it's good that it looks more like this. Oh. Maybe we can... Everything is breaking. This is great. Most previews said the games was as here, there we go. A bit better. Most previews said the game was challenging. 007. Oh yeah. I played on, like they said, start on story difficulty and then go play the game on normal. I of course didn't do that because nobody would do that. But yeah, they probably did that because yeah, it is kind of challenging. It's mostly the melee combat that is pretty challenging. But yeah, this is a PvP Assassin's Creed game. The people that are cheering here like kind of look like AI. I don't think you can really see it. I'm opening 10,000 tabs because for some reason. Can we just look at the image? There we go. This is better. I can't full screen. Yeah, this looked like an AI crowd. Of course, this is a leaked image of a test version, but yeah, it has like a Fall Guys model, but it looks like this, and I'm happy that it at least looks like this. But yeah, we pick one of the famous characters, and then we fight each other, and then someone falls off, and then you go to the next round, etc., etc. We will see. I'm at least happy because we had the Fall Guys report that it actually looks like an Assassin's Creed game and not like a cartoony Fall Guys situation. But hey, we will see. Limit Breaks. Hope you're good, brother. Thanks for all the awesome content. Keep it real and take care. Thanks, Limits Breaker. Appreciate you a lot. And thanks for the kind words. And do I see a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth image there? Well, that is a game that is rumored to be revealed at Summer Game Fest. I will, of course, when we get close to Summer Game Fest, have predictions videos up. So that's going to be exciting. But yeah, we're probably going to get part 3 and that it will then launch in early 2027. Yeah, not lying the way Horizon is going. Yeah. They're still pushing it. They're doing a new test in a few weeks and I like they're putting a lot of like social things behind it. They're posting videos and it's crazy that they're pushing that game so hard when I don't think the audience is there, but they're gonna keep trying. And I really think there will be a point this year when Sony will do a big reset in terms of how they're operating their studios. Maybe Urban Hills will be out again. The Bungie acquisition with Marathon was not a success. Destiny is not where it is. are they really putting, like, I think that the Horizon game is probably costing 200 million already. There's no way that's gonna recoup investment. So yeah, like, what we're really seeing overall is that you just can't fuck around anymore. Like, that's what we're seeing with Ubisoft now as well. They finally have a win by doing what people actually want, listening to the feedback, making an Assassin's Creed game that people actually want to play. And like Guerrilla Games is still like running against, or like rowing against the tide, or how do you say it? Like, they're trying to make something happen that is just not there, and it's sad to see. I'm actually dreaming about Horizon Hunters Gathering. This might sound crazy, but I'm like about their reveal, and that they have actually listened, and they I dreamed about like getting a book that included a lot of like story points and like a whole comic with these characters and where they came, like, because right now these characters, of course, in Horizon Hunters Gathering are super strange. They're not Horizon characters, but they, in my dream, made a book where they were like, see, this is what we're giving you, that extra lore that you wanted. I don't think it's actually changing how I view the game, but hey, they're gonna keep trying, and yeah, so far nothing seems to be changing based on feedback, and that is just a big red flag. There's already another Final Fantasy coming early 2027. Oh, then it might be later than early 2027. Jordan, how was your playtest? Which game? Did IO Interactive mention console performance? Bars, no. I asked them, and they did say that, hey, we used the extra. They, of course, delayed the game, but they said that they used the extra months to polish it. Of course, it was going to come out in March, and now it is the end of May. So yeah, they totally used that time to polish it. I do think, because I was playing on PC, I do think it would be good if they shared some console footage. I suggested to them, curious if they will do it. If they, like, I think the best approach for them is to showcase that scene on the plane where the frame drops would get really, really low, to showcase that again with the new version and on every platform, to show, hey, no, those frame drops are not present anymore. But I think the Hitman games always ran pretty well, right? So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because those frame drops were in a very old version. Like that was like almost a year ago when the game comes out. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Linebeard said, shout out to Marathon. I'm still obsessed with it. That's awesome to hear. That is very awesome to hear. Oh, Hunter's Gathering. Yeah, I did do the playtest. Like, I'm just not excited. As an Horizon fan, I'm just not excited at all. Because it's a game that you've played already countless of times. You start at the hub area. There are vendors that are just there. Like, you just see the design philosophy. That's at least my thing. Like, they want you to replay these games. Replay. The world is a bit different. And I think I like replayable games if it means that if the gameplay loop is great, and I love the Horizon gameplay loop. So if they gave me a single player combat like Horizon, but in that replayable section, so basically the combat from the regular Horizon games, but in a replayable sort of package, like we're seeing with a lot of these live service games, then I wouldn't mind, because I would be down to hunt the Tremor Tusk with friends and have it change a bit. Maybe they add like different elements to that machine, and I'm grinding for the weapons and the cool armor. But in Horizon Hunters Gathering, they completely changed what the game is. So yeah, you're getting perks. It's roguelite. It's just not what Horizon is. It has the machines, but that is about it, and that just sucks. And I'm not convinced that the story will be interesting at all. Buttery Cheeks, thanks for your support as well. That's very kind. $5. Marathon is now averaging 13,000 players daily on Steam 2 months after launch. I don't see Hunter's Gathering doing better than that. No, 100%. Look, Hunter's Gathering will do a few thousand at launch. And I think I'm being generous. if you look at the at how they're like kind of running their. Oh no, my keyboard is broken. I can't even type and look for things. Ah, it's not great for a new stream where I'm opening the internet. But let's see. Ah, can I like type Hunter's Gathering? Insta. Yeah, there we go. We're getting there. So yeah, they're doing close test too. And they're adding new characters to it that we could not play before. Did they change the prosthetic leg for the bigger character? No, they didn't. But like this has 1900 likes. Can we see the views? 45,000 views. Again, it's not nothing, but if you look at like posts for this of course only the Guerrilla Games. If you like look at posts for Horizon Forbidden West and stuff, can we like look at their most popular stuff? This had like 17,000 likes, and now they're doing it with 1,800. Like even like art or screenshots from their older games that get way more engagement than anything from Hunter's Gathering. So, and this is the most hardcore audience, but they need way more than that. So nothing really new to say, but again, I think a big reset for Sony's output is coming, because it's clearly not being run well, I think. Time for a keyboard sponsor. Yeah, I mean, that might be too late, though, because I need a new keyboard right now. Looks like Dauntless. Oh, yeah. It broke after a little spill of tea. Yes, it seemed like it. I mean, maybe if I, like, clean it up, maybe if I, like, close my computer, clean it, then it works again. But right now, it's not doing it. Hey, Yor, I was wondering, what was your first Assassin's Creed game? The first one, actually. I bought a PlayStation 3 with Assassin's Creed 1. It sucks Horizon 3 is probably ways off. Yeah. That is the, like, if they were just doing this with a side team while also having Horizon 3, or if like a separate studio was making this game, I would not be as harsh on it, I guess, because it would not impact Horizon 3, but it is. It is big time. So I'm gonna end the stream right here. Again, I want to do a Black Flag video talking about the changes. I want to talk about some other things as well. Telkstar still has a... how are we going to end the stream? My mouse still works, so I can still type. Still click on that. Let's do a few more questions before we head out. So, how did Guerrilla think this was wise? So, why did they make this game? Yeah, I mean, we can only speculate, but it's obviously their push for live services inside Sony. Like, Horizon is a huge IP. It makes sense to do something with that IP. But, yeah, not this way. Like, I still think an Horizon multiplayer game is probably going to do pretty well, but not making it something that is not Horizon anymore. So, yeah, they were, I think they were seeing the dollar signs. They were looking at, oh, wow, people pay $20 for a skin. That is 1/3 of the game that we usually make in 5 years. But it's not as easy. If even Fortnite is laying off people because their games are not doing as well as they previously were, then yeah, that is not good either. York, can you talk a bit about the Xbox new CEO? What do you think of her? Joseph, I mean, we still have to really wait and see what she's going to do. But I think the more forward-facing communication, and I don't think we've like we usually see a new CEO come in and make changes this fast, and also address feedback this fast. Like she also already launched hardware updates. Of course, she lowered the price. It's still more than Game Pass was before they increased the price, but she is basically immediately making changes that were put in place by the previous leadership. Now she's shuffling people around. I think it's good, because I think we all knew what Xbox's path forward would have been if Asha did not get in charge, and it would have probably been more of the same and maybe even worse, because like it's really going to be interesting to see if she can repair the damage that has been done, because maybe it's beyond saving. I think that might be that might be the biggest thing. Like, Xbox was huge. If you think about it, 20 years ago with like Halo and stuff, when the first one came out, the 360 era, it's kind of crazy. And they just really did a poor job of managing that. Of course, Xbox One did not help, but there were still a lot of Xbox fans that were sticking with that platform, and it still did relatively well. Now Series X, though, is dead. Like, for new players at least. They still have, of course, a hardcore audience, but they trained that audience to not buy any games by subscribing to Game Pass, and they bought a lot of extra studios and putting those games on the service. So, devaluating those games, and also, how are you going to recoup the development? So, they made some really poor decisions. But I hope I hope they can save it, because I think a good Xbox, same with almost any company, having the competition is really, really important. If Sony is the only console player left, we will all hurt. And Xbox still has Microsoft, the behemoth, behind them. They got big games. They got good studios. They're finally launching these games. So, there's a lot of positive as well, but in terms of the brand, I'm not sure if they can recover from, what they've done. But I think the new CEO is great. Like, I think I have actually hope. I still think it's going to be a bloodbath. I still think they're going to close down studios and stuff like that, because she's a number person. I think she's going to run numbers for certain games and studios and be like, we don't need you. You're not going to help us achieve our goals. But, we will see. I'm overall positive. Like, I'm pleasantly surprised so far, but the proof is in the pudding. We still have to really wait and see what she does. Xtels are saying, I think Asha's right, doing what Xbox fans want, but I think a lot of this is for show. It's a last-ditch effort to save the console business, but not sure it's going to work. The last two systems update on Xbox have been unstable. Yeah, I've not tried them myself, but that is not good. Maybe they were rushing it a bit too fast, but look, it's at least they're doing something. They're changing stuff, and I think that is interesting. That is good. Sad to see the Xbox downfall. I hope they lock in. Competition is the key. Yeah, bars, for sure. True, I love healthy competition. Just put the money into the mobile version, like the Mobile Horizon was a perfect idea. Yeah, the Steel Frontier is looking great. And actually, real quick, like, we of course had Jade, the Assassin's Creed mobile game. They're launching Division Resurgence now on PC. So that makes me hopeful that Jade is coming to PC as well at one point. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great rest of the week. I will speak to you very soon. Hopefully do a show next week, but I will be playing Black Flag Resynced. So that's why I'm not here on Wednesday. But after that, I will and I want to return to these weekly streams. But these last few weeks, I've been traveling a lot. It was great, but I'm also happy to be home and get into the swing of the regular things, so to speak. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining during these streams. I really appreciate you. Thanks for the super chats. That's how the lights are on, and that's how I can buy a new keyboard when one breaks, etc. So thanks for your support, of course, and I will see you in the Sunday video. I will see you in other videos that I'm planning, and goodbye.